Is there anything else that we?
Oh, my.
You've got some pictures there and
Yeah,
so
well,
on.
I think she wanted to get on record her brother's contribution to it.
Okay.
Well, this is me and my oldest brother, who was in the Army, and then went to, I don't think he ever went to Europe, or did he?
No, he went to the Pacific.
He went to the South
Philippines
Pacific.
or something.
Okay.
And he came home alive.
And he was in the Army?
Yes. Yeah, I don't remember what.
But he did? Or what was his Army specialty?
He was, I want to say ordnance, but I guess.
Yeah, he was in a. I know that one of the things he did was run a metal lathe.
Oh.
So it was something in the
Maintenance of some
Sure.
kind.
Maintenance,
Okay.
Yeah. And you see, he was married
Yes.
before he went to the service.
Okay.
And so in all the pictures and records and so forth that he might have had is with his wife, you know.
Mhm. Sure.
So, and this is my brother, my younger brother, who was a P-51 pilot
Oh.
and stationed in England with the 8th Air Force. And he was shot down over Germany in 1920, January 29th, 1946, right?
45.
45.
So that's the one that died?
Yes.
And he was a fighter pilot?
Yeah.
And I think he was his assignment for that day was to back up operations that I was involved in on the ground.
Really?
So-
And that was a P-51?
P-51, yep,
That was one of our best planes in Europe, wasn't it?
at
for
that
fighting?
time, yeah.
And
He,
he's in a cemetery in where?
Epinal, France, he's buried at Epinal,
Is that
France.
right?
Well, we didn't bring him home.
Mhm.
When Don and I were visiting over there, we went to the cemetery. The person in charge was a
Army veteran.
Army veteran and had married a French girl over there.
Okay.
He was the superintendent of this cemetery. And
Mhm.
he was very, very, very nice to us.
Matter of fact, he showed us around personally on a Sunday,
Hmm.
since that's the day we were there,
Yes, right.
and had brought some of his people in to clean off the gravestones so we could take
Mhm.
the best pictures of her brother's gravestone.
Are those grave, yards over there well taken care of?
Oh.
Oh, extremely so.
Yeah, and they're, I guess they use laser in some way.
To
They're,
line 'em up
Oh, they're
like that.
just
It's amazing.
perfect.
I know. I've
they're
seen
just
it.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, and at that time anyway, they were well kept up.
Sure.
I think
Okay. Anything else?
Well, I'm trying to think about, there was something about Dick that I was going to mention, I forgot what it was. Don't have it written down.
Was he your younger brother?
Yeah, well, he was older than I, but
Oh, okay.
She's the baby of the family.
I'm the baby.
Oh, okay, all right.
He was the
okay.
younger of two brothers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm. Where did he take his training?
I think in Missouri. I think he was, I can't think of the name of the place, but either in Missouri or Alabama, one of the others.
Okay.
One way or the other. I'm just, if I had more time to think about it, I should have
Well,
written it down.
that's
But,
okay. But he's one of our real heroes.
Well,
Yeah.
when Don and I were in England, I guess probably the same trip, I visited the, what is that big cathedral?
Oh, St.
Westminster,
Paul's.
Westminster?
St. Paul's, wasn't
well, either that or Westminster Abbey. They have a book where they list all the soldiers that have died, or maybe, yeah, the soldiers that
Mm-hmm.
were stationed in England.
Is that right?
And I found his name in there,
You did?
and that was,
Huh. Kind of meaningful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
right.
To think of that.
That was St. Paul's.
was it St.
No.
Paul's Cathedral?
Now, how many missions do you know that he flew?
I don't really know.
You don't know?
Uh, There again, the information going back and forth was highly covered.
Yeah.
And if he wrote us how many,
He probably couldn't do that.
right, he probably.
He may have
did not.
written it, but it was probably crossed out.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
had a newspaper article mentioning
Where
something.
he shot down a plane, yeah, a German plane.
So that was it, that information occasionally was in the paper.
Yeah, well,
I
yes,
mean, generally after the
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say or tell us about?
Well, not really. Funny, when I looked at these pictures of these gals that I worked with in Washington, I could remember every one of their names,
Is that-
where they were from.
That's great.
It's really kind of, I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Have you
And,
kept in touch with those people?
No, no. Well, I did maybe for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're still in communication
Margaret.
with Margaret,
No, but she didn't work with me.
but she was.
Well, yeah, I mean, she worked for the FBI,
Oh, okay.
and I
Okay.
am still in touch with her, but not with the girls that were, well, the PAW, General Administration for War, was shut down, canceled, whatever you call it, I think in 1946.
Sure.
There's no longer any need for it. But
Okay.
I think that my experience in being away from home, and I learned a lot of things that probably weren't good, but a lot of things that were good. It certainly added to my general knowledge and experience of the war.
Was that common for people in the outer areas of New York to be recruited to go into Washington? I mean, was
Well,
this part of a
apparently.
general campaign to get employment in that area?
Well, and like these girls, Marilyn Dick was from New Jersey, and this Therese Kidderbecky was from, I think, Montana, way out in the Midwest someplace. And I think that, they desperately needed workers there. And the girls that didn't go to Washington or someplace to work for the government ended up in places like General Electric.
Sure.
Yeah, it was
Plain-
very, very common for, your father, for example, went to work for some war-related,
Yeah, he went to DeHaas and then down to West Springfield.
What was DeHaas?
So people who lived in rural areas that didn't have defense-related industries went to these
Yeah.
industries.
Yeah,
Right. It was full employment at that time.
Yes, yes.
And that's when a lot of the women
Oh,
got
okay.
into the working.
Rosie the
so to
Riveter,
speak.
for instance.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it was just all-out war. I mean,
That's right.
Just,
Everybody was,
National unity.
right.
well, yeah.
That's
and-
right.
yeah.
Working for the same purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you didn't really, you didn't resent it or anything, it was just, this is what we had to do.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you very much. You are the first person who is a non-military person that I've interviewed, and I appreciate that, because this is open for people like you as well as, people that have served in the military. So, thank you very much.
You're entirely welcome.